Welcome to Eerie Bites of History, your daily serving of strange bites of the past. Today, we have a brotherhood betrayed, poisoned throne, and a miracle deep underground, all of which happened on October 13th. Let's begin. On October 13th, 1307, as the dawn crept over the Kingdom of France, quiet terror spread throughout the land. In the dead of night, King Philip IV had issued a secret order, one that would echo through centuries of superstition and fear. The Knights Templar, once the most powerful and mysterious military order of the time, was suddenly branded as heretics. Accused of blasphemy, corruption, and devil worship, men who had fought for God were now said to have betrayed him. Across France, Templar fortresses were stormed at sunrise. Doors were splintered, swords drawn, the holy men dragged from their beds in chains. Those who resisted vanished to the dungeons beneath Paris, and that's where the real horrors began. Under torture, many confessed to the impossible sins, to worship idols, to spitting on the cross, pledging loyalty not to Christ but to the devil himself. But those who confessed were not born of guilt, only agony. Within weeks, the once mighty order was shattered. Their treasure disappeared, and their leaders buried alive. And the last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was led to the flames. He cursed the king and the pope, foretelling of their deaths within a year, and they both died within months. The Templars' Grand Master cursed his judges, and, fittingly, this happened on Friday the 13th. The date has been branded unlucky, but its reputation wasn't built on one man's flames alone. It's the sum of old superstitions, biblical echoes, and centuries of people blaming bad days on a calendar. On October 13th, 54 AD, the mighty Roman Empire woke up to unsettling whispers from the imperial palace. Emperor Claudius, the unlikely ruler who had survived conspiracies, assassination attempts, and ridicule, was dead. But not from age, or so the rumors said. That night, Claudius had dined with his wife, Agrippina the Younger, a woman as ambitious as she was cunning. The feast was lavished with delicacies, like mushrooms, which were his favorite. And by dawn, the empire laid in agony, his face pale, his breath shallow, Rome's future trembling on the edge of change. Some claim he had been struck down by illness, others whispered of poison. A subtle toxin slipped into his meal, one powerful enough to silence the empire before he realized the betrayal had come from within his own. His wife stayed close, feigning concern, even though the physicians to assist him ensured that every attempt to save his life only quickened his death. And when Claudius finally fell silent, Nero, her 17-year-old son, was declared the empire before his body had even cooled. The death of Claudius marks the end of Rome's fragile stability and the dawn of one of its darkest reigns. Was it sickness that took the emperor, or his wife's ambitions that poisoned an empire? Poison in politics, in an empire, they're usually the same thing. They're usually used interchangeably. Claudius just learned that lesson a bit too late. On October 13th, 2010, the world watched as the Earth gave up 33 souls it had trapped. 69 days earlier, beneath the Chilean desert in the San Jose mine had collapsed, sealing off the men in total darkness nearly half a mile underground. No sunlight and no sounds, but the groans of rocks and their own breath. For 17 long days, rescuers heard nothing. They feared the worst, that they were gone. Then a drill broke through the earth and a small note was pulled to the surface, sprawled in red ink and translated to, "We are here in the shelter, all 33 of us." Hope was ignited. Engineers worked around the clock, digging narrow lifelines down to the trapped men. Food and medicine descended in tiny capsules. The miners sang in the dark, and they marked time by the flicker of headlamps and faith. They called it Operation Phoenix, a plan to bring them back through a narrow metal capsule rising through nearly 2,300 feet of solid rock. One by one, the men ascended from the darkness, faces ghostly pale, eyes shielded from the light they hadn't seen in months. 69 days in the dark, and they still came up smiling. Maybe the real miracle wasn't their survival, but it's that their hope refused to cave in. Like your history snack-sized? Drop us a comment with your favorite bite and subscribe. Join us daily for your eerie dose of the past.